Alright, so here I have 16 large marshmallows and 2 tablespoons of water that I heated in the microwave for about a minute. Normally you would use 4 cups of unpacked small marshmallows, but I didn't have any and I wanted to get this done for a friend of mine who wants to see it done. So you just heat them in the microwave until they're all puffy and expanded, then you stir till it's smooth. If you are going to have colored fondant and it's all going to be the same color, you can add your dye right now while it's still liquid, and it will be much easier to deal with than if you have to knead it in once it's all ready. If you're making multiple colors, then you have to knead it in after. Now you want to start stirring icing sugar or confectioner sugar or powdered sugar, whichever you want to call it, into the marshmallows. And it starts out pretty sticky. I'm using a rubber spatula. You just keep on incorporating that all together. If you were going to add some flavor to your fondant, which in this case the fondant is made of marshmallows and icing sugar, it will taste like marshmallows when it's done. Normal fondant tastes pretty terrible, so normally you would flavor it with almond extract or mint or even vanilla, whatever. And you could try to do that with the marshmallow too and give it a different flavor. That might be nice. So I have 4 cups of icing sugar kind of pre-measured here just for the sake of the video, and basically you just start incorporating, and eventually you have to, your hands do get sticky with this, you do have to kind of take it with your hands and start incorporating that way, and it really, by the time you're done, you'll have like a hard, stiff ball of dough. It just takes time. It's not very hard. Once your consistency is good, and you can, I don't know if you can tell now, but it's starting to lose its stickiness quite a bit. It's not really sticking to my hands anymore, or my fingers. I might just actually go ahead and dump it out. Knead it all up, sort of like bread dough. It'll take a few minutes and a little bit of arm muscles. Alright, once you've done kneading it will be this like hard, firm ball. It's about 16 ounces, 1 pound of fondant, and it tastes great, just like a marshmallow. So you want to, and you'll notice this powdered sugar that's left on the table is what was not, when I dumped it all out on the table and was just kneading it all up, that was extra, it wasn't needed, so I didn't quite need as much this time. So actually the first time I used the large marshmallows, maybe there's a slight difference in the yield there. I'll see if I can do this with normally I have the camera on a stool on my table because I don't have a tripod, so it will make rolling this a little difficult here, but you just have a well floured, you don't use flour, you use icing sugar surface, and you just keep rolling your fondant until, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a round shape, but you just keep rolling your fondant until you get a big shape. If you've colored it, you'll notice that the white really kind of stands out. Don't worry about that. At the end you can dab all that off with water. It will just wash right off. As you're rolling it, keep on flipping it and turning it to make sure that it is not stuck to your countertop, because you won't be able to get it off if it is, and it will tear in that case. So you want to keep rolling. Here, let me just roll this one section. You want to keep rolling it until the thickness, I don't know if you can see that, you want to be able to handle it. If you can't keep picking it up like this without it tearing around your hands, then it's too thin. okay, because you need to be able to work with it. You need to be able to pick it up and position it over your cake, and if you can't do that, it's too thin. So there's really no right or wrong, and because this tastes better than the normal fondant, you know, it can be a little thicker. You have to ice the cake underneath. You put icing on your cake and then you put the fondant on the top. It will make the fondant stick to the cake, and then also people just peel off the fondant, they don't eat it, and then, so again, my stool legs are in my way here of making a good big round circle for you, but this is how you roll it out. You get a big circle. You need, to cover an 8 or 9 inch cake, especially if it was stacked, you would probably need a double recipe, maybe even triple, depending on how crazy you're going. This right now, if it was a big circle, it would be, you know, probably like this big around, and that would cover a cake like this big. You need extra, so you can drape it over the sides, and then you rub down the sides all the way, get all the bumps out around, and then cut off your extra. So I hope that that was helpful in showing you how I make my homemade fondant, and hopefully it inspires you to try it yourself. It is a lot cheaper, obviously. The cost of 4 cups of icing sugar and 1 bag of marshmallows is only a couple dollars. And if you were to buy, I believe, 2 pounds of fondant, pre-made Wilton fondant at Michael's, is $15, and 5 pounds is $20-something. So, and it doesn't taste good. You have to flavor it. But it should really be, you know, tough, like almost like taffy or something, as you're working with it, with the consistency. And you can also keep it for, it won't go bad. Well, I don't know, how long does marshmallows and sugar take to go bad? You can put it in a tight sealed bag, a Ziploc bag, and it will keep for a long time. I haven't done it like indefinitely. I think the longest I've done is like maybe 2 weeks in between from one cake to the next type of thing, but it will keep. You don't have to do it same day. And if you were coloring it, you would take as much as you need to color, put the color in there. Use the Wilton gel colors, not the liquid food colors that come with those little pointy tops. You don't use that. Use Wilton icing gel color. You put it in, and you knead, and this you just knead and knead and knead, and it will be very streaky and the color will be very inconsistent, but as you knead and knead and knead, it will really give your forearms a great workout. The color will become smooth and consistent and just exactly what you want. So that is how I make my fondant, and I hope that that was helpful and inspires you to try it yourself.